Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We're going to do our Bible trivia. First, give you a couple of corny jokes from my little book. What? No, why? Why did the queen go to the dentist? To get crowns on her teeth. When does the road get angry? When someone crosses it. Oh, boy. All right. Today we're covering Genesis 36 through chapter 40. So let's begin with our Bible trivia questions. Number one, what was the name of the land where Esau settled? Was it Edom, Moab, Ammon, or Midian? Genesis 36, verse number 8 tells us that it was Edom. Number two, what was the name of Esau's son who became the father of the Amalekites? Was it Eliphaz, Reuel, Jeush, or Amalek? Genesis 36, verse number 12 tells us the answer is Amalek. Number three, what was the name of Jacob's daughter who was defiled by Shechem, the son of Hamor? Was it Dinah, Leah, Rachel, or Zilpah? Genesis 34, verses 1 through 2 tells us that it was Dinah. Number four, what did Simon, or Simeon, that is, let me do that again. What did Simeon and Levi do to avenge their sister's dishonor? They killed Shechem and Hamor and took their sister back. They killed all the males of Shechem and plundered the city. They made a covenant with Shechem and Hamor and asked them to be circumcised. Or is it the answer, the last two answers? In other words, I'll just read them to you since I don't do the BC thing. It was it these two things. They killed the males of Shechem and plundered the city. They made a covenant with Shechem and Hamor and asked them to be circumcised. The answer is found in chapter 34, verses 13 through 29. And the answer is both B and C, both those last answers. Number five, what was the name of Jacob's son who was born to Rachel in Bethlehem? Was it Joseph, Benjamin, Dan, or Naphtali? Genesis 35, verses 16 through 18 tells us that it was Benjamin. Number six, what did Rachel do before she died in childbirth? She named her son Benoni, or she named her son Benjamin, or she blessed her son and husband, or she asked for forgiveness from God. Genesis 35, verse number 18 tells us the answer is Ben-Oni or Ben-Oni. Number seven, what did Jacob do when he heard that Joseph had been killed by a wild animal? He tore his clothes and put on sackcloth. He refused to be comforted by his sons and daughters. He said that he would go down to Sheol mourning his son. Or is it all of these answers? Genesis 37, verses 34 through 35 tells us that all of these answers is true. Number eight, what did Joseph do when Potiphar's wife tried to seduce him? He yielded to her temptation and sinned with her. He resisted her temptation and fled from her. He reported her to Potiphar and exposed her wickedness, or he prayed to God and asked for strength and wisdom. Genesis 39, verses 7 through 12, of course, tells us that he resisted her temptation and fled from her. Number nine, what did Potiphar do when his wife accused Joseph of trying to rape her? He believed his wife and put Joseph in prison. He doubted his wife and set Joseph free. He investigated the matter and found out the truth, or he ignored the matter and left Joseph alone. Genesis 39, verses 19 through 20 tells us that he believed his wife and put Joseph into prison. Number 10, what did Joseph do when he met the chief cupbearer and the chief baker in prison? He interpreted their dreams and asked them to remember him before Pharaoh. He shared his own dreams and asked them to interpret them for him. He ignored their dreams and focused on his own situation, or he prayed for their dreams and asked them to trust in God. Genesis 40, verses 1 through 23, reveals the answer that He interpreted their dreams and asked them to remember him before the Pharaoh. All right, some of these questions were a little bit more difficult, so you'll have to let me know how you did down in the comments to see if you got them all right. I mean, this definitely wasn't. There's some easy ones in there, but there were some difficult ones too. Anyway, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next time.